Just one invite remaining for tomorrow's Arena Lacrosse League East Championship Final. The Monarchs have booked their ticket, and now it will be up to the Paris Riverwolves and the Brampton Express to decide who will join them. Hello, lacrosse fans. Welcome back to the Toronto Rock Athletics Center. Lance Wynn working alongside former player, coach, and league president Paul St. John. Great to have you with us here. Paris, of course, looking to their goaltending to hold diminished one starters for today's game for the Riverwolves. It'll be Chase Cosgrove, 5-6 record, goals against a 14, his save percentage of .750. At the other end, Lucas Nagy, 7-0. Oh, he's stingy, 9.77 goals against, best in the league, and a .820 save percentage. Head coaches for Paris, a familiar face in Jamie Dubrick, 6th season as the boss. His assistant is Mark DeBrone. And for Brampton in his first season, Jeff Dowling, his assistants, Todd Wilfong, Dylan Evans, and Kevin Haynes. Officials for today's game, another top-notch crew. Joel Firmhand Furman is the crew chief. He's joined by Kyle Coulter and Mac Daddy Abbott. And with that said, we are underway, and I can bring in my broadcast partner in Paul St. John. And Paul, when you look at these two teams, Brampton coming off a win over Ohsweken, Paris an upset win themselves to advance here. Who do you think has the edge here coming into tonight's matchup?
I don't know if there's an edge to anyone. I honestly think, truthfully, we could end up with another 17-16 barn burner and maybe see some more overtime. Both teams are pretty evenly matched. One big player missing for Paris is Alex Q, who's really going to hurt their transition game because he is their number one transition guy.
So, of course, it was Paris beating Whitby 18-17 in a thriller, and Kyle Dawson with a bounce shot off. Marley Angus picks it up, looking for Dawson behind the net. Had a notion, came right around, went to the bounce, but couldn't sneak it through. And when I tell you that Lucas Nagy is stingy, Paul, outstanding netminder.
Yeah, he is stingy. Anyone that averages under 10 goals against the game in our league is stingy. We're normally up around 13, 14 for the goalies because, as I heard you say earlier, it's not a friendly game for goaltending when you look at goals against average.
You got that right, as Seamus Shanahan trying to dunk was Jaminski, and he wasn't able to connect. Paris now will come away with it and work it over the timeline.
So, Lance, you mentioned Nagy, who we all know with his goals against average of under 10. Chase Cosgrove is another good goalie. His average isn't the same, but boy, can he make big saves when you need him.
Well, you know, Paul, you can't win a championship really in any team sport like this. And there, right there, was the X factor in Hunter Angus that we were going to talk about, and he lights up the lamp for the first goal of this game.
Yeah, you know, you see the ball swing down the low side. I believe it's Goddard with the ball. He swings it to the right side. Eventually it gets to Angus. It's kind of a swooping overhand bounce shot. Nagy set, but it's just up the pipe and it finds the net.
So first goal goes to the Riverwolves, and when you talk about momentum, they've been playing some great lacrosse. Angus waits and goes off the chest, and Nagy collects the rebound, and that's one of the talents that this Marley Angus has. He never quits, and his ability, his instincts to follow up on loose balls, uncanny.
Yeah,
Simonelli's shot, why? Good save, and it sneaks its way through. So Noah Simonelli answers the call and tacks on another for the Riverwolves.
Yeah, Lance, you're talking about Angus, an absolutely terrific player, and he just swings the ball. Simonelli uses a screen. You know, we talked about this, you know, all game and stuff. It's a screenshot overhand. Nagy thinks he has it. He tries to squeeze it, and he squeezes it through his body, and it finds the back of the net. We're up 2 for Paris, and now Brampton's got to find a way to get on the board themselves.
Well, Paul, we had a chance to speak prior to this game. We spoke about teams being battle-tested. And we know that Brampton battle-tested having beaten Ohsweken last weekend, but also battle-tested these Paris Riverwolves playing for the first time with their full roster.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that's the hard thing for Brampton because Brampton beat them twice during the season. Very early, they played week 2 and week 8, and Brampton scored. Beat them 14-9, 14-5. So you see that, right? So they've got to find a way almost against a new team.
We'll see as Ryan Campbell bounces out, swinging around Chellen. Comes to Zach Sutherland, who has been outstanding this season for these Express. The entire Brampton Express team has played some outstanding lacrosse, finishing second, and now Agus now in transition, and this is where they miss Alex Q. Those two big long legs in transition, and they cover a lot of carpet in a hurry. Dylan Goddard swings it around. Dawson work to big Andy Campbell. Kick it on the skip pass as Ryan Pavic working with Jordan Aki, and it's Aki and Salfish that comes away with it. He's going to race over the timeline. He'll pull up, I'm sure, wait for some assistance, and he waits for Cody Menzies and the rest of the Brampton offense. Campbell looked to swing it around, and I think the best bet for Brampton previous couple of games, Paul, that we've seen, Ryan Campbell sometimes get buried down on that crease, and as a very good facilitator and floor general, sometimes you don't get the most out of him there.
Yeah, I think Ryan has to play up high, as you see here in this shift here, because he sees the floor so well. He can see it well from down low as well, but from up high, he just seems to have a different look. And he knows to pick his spots for passing, and he knows when to shoot the long shot as well.
That one goes, and now Luke Van Scheppen will trot over the timeline for the Riverwolves. Certainly a welcome addition to that team, as he has been a mainstay. Angus looking for help. Pop out Eric Lemaire. Give and go. Van Scheppen bounced too much bounce on it. Rebound. Simonelli picks it up. Takes a hard hit in the corner loose. And a good job to get it up and move it up by the Express now, and McDonald will try to corral it. Agus all over him. Agus battling hard, and that's one of those X-factor things right there, Paul. Agus really wreaking some havoc in the neutral zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I said Alex Q's the key to their transition, and I forgot about Hunter Agus because he's right there with him.
And a turnover, and thinking better of it is Gillis, as he's up there with Jamie McMahon. He'll wait. Havoc will take that and slow things down, wait for the rest of the offense to get out there. 15 on the shot clock. Angus will swing it around. Goddard looking for an opening. Late trailers Andy Campbell. He's going to tee that up. That goes off the post. Campbell going to try to corral his own rebound. He does. Dumps it back down. Pavic looking behind the net. Agus. And Lemaire ran out of room there. And now the Express will move it up over the timeline. Nick Volkov will hand off to Sutherland.
Yeah, you mentioned Andy Campbell there, last week's overtime hero, and taking the outside shot. He can throw the ball hard, and as you saw there, Nagy looked for it, hit the post, and thank God he's got his best friend behind him.
As you saw Sutherland move in, change the angle. Good save made right there by Cosgrove. Ball loose now, battling for it, and a good job. Riverwolves jump all over in its pin cone.
Nice little play by Richard Imus to use his feet there. Not always have to use the stick, kick the ball up, and Paris ends up with the offensive opportunity here.
Richard Imus certainly a gamer, that's for sure, out of Milton, Ontario. Campbell trying to duck in, flips it back. Angus lets it go off the crossbar. That goes off the rafters. We'll stay right here with 8:54 to go. Stick around, viewers. We'll have a special guest in Monarchs GM, Blaine McCauley, as the Toronto Monarchs have booked their ticket to tomorrow's final. And Nagy unleash it, had Gage board. Instead it goes netminder to netminder. And Cosgrove now will return it, get it up over the timeline to Angus. Can't hold on to it. Aki had it. Aki lost it. And Goddard now getting some pressure.
Nice little play by the sneaky Kyle Dawson coming from behind and knocked the ball back out of Aki's stick to get regain possession there, Lance.
Lemaire has that one go off Nagy. Fresh clock now for Simonelli and the Riverwolves. Angus on the run. Good save there by Nagy. Steered that aside. Offensive board picked up. Riverwolves will go back to work again with a fresh 30. Angus, screen and roll. Simonelli not able to make the connection. And Nagy now will look and send away Aki.
So Nagy seemed to find his groove now after a couple early goals. Seeing the ball well, making some nice saves. And I just noticed on that last defensive stance, Brampton is checking a player right on top of him behind the net.
Sutherland had that shot knocked down. Mikael Chelin And that one didn't touch anything. Too much bounce, went out of play, and possession will go the other way. Van Scheppen. I thank our viewers for tuning in on this Good Friday. Happy Easter, happy Passover to you. Panicked! Oh my, did he tee off on that one?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And that's one thing Pavic has done all year long since he's come over to Paris from Peterborough. He will shoot the ball, and he has very good accuracy. If we kept the shot on player, he probably shoots about 30%, which is pretty good for a player. So you see an overhand shot, he just rips it. Nagy drops, and it just, I don't know what hole it found, but it obviously found a hole because it's in the back of the net.
Well, I don't know. That almost made a hole. That was coming like a rocket, and a 3-0 lead for the Riverwolves. And talked about adversity and Brampton needing to face some of that early on, but on the run, Jeff Wittig wide of the mark. And I think the key for Brampton, Sutherland has to step up, I think, in this game. Gage Board, Ryan Campbell are going to do their thing, but Zach Sutherland really is their sniper.
Well, he is, but I think the one guy for Brampton that could really be the difference here is Jeff Wittig. He didn't play last week because of an upper body injury. He's back this week. He just had a chance there. If he gets his game going, his pick and roll game is probably as good as anybody in this league.
6:50, and we will have our first officials timeout. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. You're watching the Arena Lacrosse League playoffs. Welcome back. 3-0 the score in favor of the Riverwolves. And I think, Paul, if you're Jamie Dubrick and Mark DeBrone, you couldn't be happier with the start of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're up 3-0. Your defense has been really good. Brampton hasn't had. I don't even think they've had one real good look on Cosgrove. And we're already in less than 7 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Angus gets it over the timeline with a good defender, and Nick Volkov all over him. Dumps it down low, and Lemaire tried to go airborne, put that just over the net, so didn't miss by much. Back now come the Express. Volkov in alone, going to try to speed. Van Scheppen interception. Great job by Van Scheppen as he closed that gap in a hurry. Volkov will retreat, and they'll reset with Chullen.
Just a fantastic defensive stance, coming off your own bench to get over that quickly to shut it down.
Chullen working on the right side, gets a screen. He's going to let it go. It actually went off Sutherland, so no reset. Shot winding down, that block too, and boy, Paris doing a good job getting the sticks in those shooting lanes and deflecting a lot of those shots. Graham will work it. Pavic will swing it around. They'll start things with Lemaire on his wrong stick side here on the left. Expect him to filter through. Angus on the right, his wrong stick side. Looking for Kyle Dawson as he tried to fish that out of the crease. Instead, on the run, here come the Express. Kalen Martin finds a trailer. Board tried to dump it over to Jaminski. Good recovery. Malcolm Ford all over him. Ryan Campbell lets it go. And that bounce shot finds the mark. Brampton on the board now. It's 3-1.
So what did we talk about earlier with Campbell, right? We like him down low, but we prefer him up high. So Derminsky goes in the corner, picks up the loose ball. Campbell's coming off the bench late, right? So he's got some open space. The Paris D's push back in. He comes over. Jamie McMahon slides out, and he's a screen. So it's a little hard picking it off the stick for Cosgrove. By that time, it's behind him. Great shot from the top.
Good old-fashioned overhand bounce shot. Hard to go wrong with one of those off the draw. Penn Estrat, also an outstanding player here in the Arena Lacrosse League this season. He has been instrumental in Brampton's success this season. Campbell fishes that out, 15 on the shot clock, swing around Estrad. Menzies will look to kick it. Sutherland's got some room, and again, that's blocked by Gillis. Knocked away Cosgrove and almost gave it right back to Sutherland. Instead, a good job by Derry Newbro. Newbro now on the run. Finds a trailer, Van Scheppen. Van Scheppen takes that shot. Had Agus wide open down on that crease. Elected to take that shot, and now the other Van Scheppen will work it over the timeline.
Yeah, I think Luke was trying to catch Nagy thinking he was passing, and he tried to shoot and ended up shooting it right in the belly pad.
Of course, Brampton sporting Mark Van Scheppen and Luke Van Scheppen wearing the white of Paris. So the brothers going head-to-head. Sutherland tried to change directions, got hauled down by a bigger Johnson, took another hard hit. Wittig battling in there. He takes one. Paris, the aggressors, come away with the loose ball. We're at the 4:13 mark. Opening quarter, semifinal number 2. Toronto Monarchs have booked their ticket. They'll be playing on the home carpet tomorrow night, 7 p.m. One of these two teams will join them. Simonelli waiting for Pavic to get in a rush. He lets it go. Wide of the mark. Andy Campbell. Pick it up, 10 on the shot clock. Campbell. Backhand. Dawson. Dawson took a quick hit. And Medeiros with an interference call. And possession will go to Paris. Lucky to get away with just a push there, Paul. That was a dangerous play.
Yeah, it was. But we talked about this off air. This is going to be a more aggressive game than the one we saw earlier today. Two teams that battle hard defensively, and we're seeing it tonight.
Pavic taking some lumber there. He's going to step into one again. This one off the chest of Nagy. Nagy now will send it, and here come the Express and Martin. Martin will give way, Gage board now. Cody Menzies, you can bet Brampton's going to need a little something out of Cody Menzies. Jaminski looking for an opening, kick it back out. Boards, quick shot. Stopped, and Cosgrove up to that task as we inch toward the 3-minute mark. Richard Imus. He'll get it over the timeline. Job well done. Give way, and it's Angus. Van Scheppen. Sutherland on him. Van Scheppen's going to go for a run. Tries to dunk. Nagy, shoulders shrugged. And now Estrat. Got great speed. He's going to race up into the zone. Excellent transition defense, though, by the Riverwolves. Back waiting. And now Estrat looking for an opening, swinging across. Wittig, dump it down low. It's Campbell on the turnaround. Goes to the bell. Good save there by Cosgrove.
What a great pick by Shanahan to open up two guys for Campbell to come around for a great look.
Seamus Shanahan wreaking some havoc. Wittig doing some job trying some back checking on Pincombe. Pincombe does a good job, get it over, and they'll settle things down here with Gillis on the left side. Gillis had a notion to find Simonelli cutting, thought better of it, and now he'll dump it. Simonelli behind the net, looking for Dawson. Dawson couldn't get that shot off, got knocked down, 5 on the shot clock. Lemaire has to let it go, on target Nagy. Nagy smothers that loose ball, and luckily as Dawson was hovering on the doorstep.
So Paris continues to try to use the behind the net player to their advantage, and they've tried, 3 or 4 crease dives, maybe not that many, but at least a couple with no luck.
Just under a minute and a half now here in this first quarter. Campbell kicks it back out. Sutherland lets it go. That's over the net. And Angus now looking for Van Scheppen. Neatly in the basket. Jumping in the rush, Jamie McMahon. No numbers, though. Delayed penalty coming. Looks like it could be a too many on the floor. And Van Scheppen will pull it back out. Campbell now.
Yes, you are correct, Lance. Too many men.
Campbell has some room, and Nagy steers that aside. And with just over a minute to go, we will have our first penalty of this game.
What a flow. Good flow both ways. Very early. You know, obviously the referee's looking for that. I think Furman was the lead referee, and his job is to watch that line change, and he caught it.
So 1:01 to go here. And Davis Prince now will set up on the power play. Paris 43% efficiency with the man advantage. The Express kill 38% of those penalties. And Davis Prince lets it go. That's a bounce shot and a half. Man, oh man, he took that from the side and parked that in the top corner. Riverwolves looking awfully good, 47 seconds
Okay,
left.
so Davis Prince gets hurt early in the season, comes back, finishes year off. Last week he plays maybe 7 shifts, and I think he had 7 points. First shift of the game is his power play here. Just a beautiful sidearm bounce shot. That is, as much as an overhand bounce shot is a hard shot to save, that's probably the hardest shot to save.
That's why we brought you up here for your expertise. I'd agree with you 100% there. It's also one of the hardest shots to shoot accurately, and I tell you, good job, Davis Prince. So Brampton with possession off the draw, trailing 4-1, 35 seconds left in the game clock. 10-second differential shot in game clock. Jerminski send it over, Gage board, curl around, kick it over Estrat. Looking for a screen, gets it, goes to that far corner, good save Cosgrove, loose in that dotted half circle, 20 seconds to go. Agus fighting for it, and he's way too hands-on. And similar to that call down on that end, this will be possession to Brampton, 16.1 seconds left.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Sutherland out on this shift here, and it's the last shift of the quarter, so I'm not sure if he's nursing something here, Lance, or not.
Usually out there for sure. Jerminski trying to make a move, flips it back out. Estrat couldn't handle the flip. 5 on the game clock. Gotta hurry. Estrat's just gonna dump that in the gondola. Make sure it was out. 1 second left, and that will do it. So we have played 15. Semifinal number 2. Someone looking for a trip to visit the finals with the Toronto Monarchs. We'll be back with the second quarter after this. Welcome back, and we see over there, now that's Jordan Ackey being attended to, but Zach Sutherland was over there as well, getting looked at by the medical staff for the Express, and we'll have to keep an eye on that, Paul, as you mentioned, not out for that final possession, and as one of the vital pieces, certainly offensively, it makes you wonder.
Yeah, like I said a few minutes earlier, this is a very physical game, and it's going to be throughout. There's Sutherland's back out there now. So we're going to see that throughout the whole game, and guys are going to be taking some shifts off because of it.
Wrong stick side. Campbell lets it go. Good save there by Cosgrove. Loose on that blue carpet in the crease. Cosgrove owning that spot, moves it up to Agus. Agus will head to the bench. And the Paris offense will go back to work. Simonelli. Survey, skip past. Dawson had some room, tried to duck in. And too much on that Angus screen, and that's going to be a delay of game call. So Kyle Dawson for taking that shot just a bit too late after the whistle. will give Brampton their first power play opportunity of the game.
Yeah, that's a tough one. We're actually going to have a quick look at it here too, Lance, because Dawson gets the ball, and a moving pick was called on Angus. I believe it is right here. So as he comes around it, the whistle's going to go there, and he's winding it up. It's got to be hard. How do you stop yourself from shooting? So, it's the right call, but how do you stop that? The motion's already happening when the whistle blows.
So Brampton goes to work their power play, an impressive 63% to the penalty kill, 51% for Paris. So Brampton going to have to work here. Campbell's shot steered aside there by Cosgrove. He'll pick up that loose ball, and Newbro now will try to leg it over the timeline.
Yeah, I like that look. Campbell pulled himself behind trying to look for a screen shot. As he wound up and shot, I think he realized right after that Derminski on the crease, the crease defender had slid up. He probably could have dumped it down. So look for that next time out.
Good observation. We'll see if they're as keenly observant as you are, Mr. St. John. And Sutherland now will leg it up with 1:10 to go in the man advantage. So trailing 4-1, you figure this might be a good time for the Express to kind of get on track, Paul. They just don't seem as crisp as we've seen them in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Jeff Roy here a couple times tonight. You can see he's playing a little jittery, right? Probably nerves. I mean, they're a game away from going to the final. There's Campbell from the top.
Campbell will settle those nerves right down with that power play marker, his second of the game.
Yeah, and I think that's the look he wanted last time he shot. So you see Jeff Roy goes, picks up the loose ball in the corner, gets it to Campbell, and Campbell sees that the defense is not pushing up. They're just kind of holding their spot, and he shoots again. As much as we think it's an easier save for a goalie, when you have a body in front of you, you've got to pick the ball up. And sometimes if you're a half second picking it up, you don't save. It's in the back of the net.
Well, it doesn't help that the release point is different every shot, so you're never going to get that just overhands or just sidearms. So it's coming from the goalies at a different angle usually. Gage Board. Good save there by Cosgrove as Board off the face-off, and now Van Scheppen has Andy Campbell out of the back door, elects not to. And Paris continues to be very deliberate here on offense.
Yeah, they are. They're pulling the ball out when they know they don't have transition, and they're not trying to force things.
Seminelli almost dropped that. Van Scheppen bailed him out. Trying to turn the corner, 10 on the shot clock. Van Scheppen getting worked over by Martin. Van Scheppen ducked by one. Kicks it out. Andy Campbell goes to the overhand, and a big save there from Nagy. Van Scheppen, offensive rebound. Thought about crease dive. Reversed his pivot, and he'll think better of it. Kick it back out for a reset.
That was Andy Campbell's spot from last week when he scored in overtime, but he tried to change the angle of his shot in the motion, and Nagy makes a big save.
Kyle Dawson with a good underhand, but Penistrat, I tell you, guy has wheels. Waits for the back door. Zach Sutherland, and that one's saved by Cosgrove.
Big save. Big save for Cosgrove on a clear look for Sutherland. Normally that's in the back of the net.
And Ruddy now will move it up to Imus. Imus will get it over the timeline, protect it. Great speed 20's got, as he still has it, looking from assistance, gets it from Campbell. Campbell now gets a screen and probably shouldn't have forced that. And now on the go, here come the Express. Jordan Medeiros looking for that back door, nothing doing there, so he'll pull it out. Just over 11 minutes to go here, second quarter. Semifinal number 2. One of these two teams will join the Toronto Monarchs in tomorrow night's final. Campbell trying to turn the corner. Gets a shot off. Cosgrove got enough of it to steer it aside, but the Express pick up the loose ball for another 30.
Campbell's going back to that same spot, low glove. He's filling it right now, and he's seeing something that no one else is seeing on Brampton because everyone else is trying every other spot but there.
Jaminski, 15 on the shot clock, goes far side off the post.
Okay, that could work too, Lance.
These guys calling you. Sutherland off the post.
Same side.
So all kind of iron being rung. It's Hunter Agus now in transition. Gets a step. Agus, big save from Nagy. Rebound. Gillis trying to split two. Gets roughed up, taken away. Sutherland now has Board with him. Heads up backdoor. Menzies 3-on-2 Express. Board! Good save there by Cosgrove.
This is what lacrosse is all about, eh?
Right.
And then action, goaltending, making great saves. We're seeing something more to Gage Board this quarter early, right? First quarter, he seemed to be struggling a little bit. Didn't have a lot of looks. He's had 3 great chances already in this quarter.
Swings it around. Menzies gets it back. He's got Malcolm Ford marking him. Shanahan sets the screen, looking to Wittig. Wittig kick back up. They'll swing and look for something, and they find it. Oh, baby, Mikhail Chelin in the mix now, and it's a 4-3 game.
Yeah, they need something out of Chelin, and this is probably his first real good look. He might have won the first quarter, but again, over top of body, right? And I believe it goes 5-0 here. We'll get a look at it. So a nice little up pick by Menzie, too, to push McMahon off of him, if you see that on the replay here, where McMahon has him, but he has to change his position to go check the shooter. And now Chelin gets an easier look, and he finds the 5-hole. Big goal.
Big goal is right as the Express off the draw. McDonald will hold on to it and move it up to Volkov. And the Express now looking to try to build on that momentum, trailing now by just 1. We are under 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Sutherland ducks by 1, kick it out. Shanahan swing it around. Shot clock at 10. On the run. Chelin, and this one stopped, though, by Cosgrove as he read that one well. And the Riverwolves now will move it up into the offensive end.
Lance, I know we're heading into the Paris offense here, but you watch Brampton's offense. Seamus Shanahan, I'm watching him more and more. His pick game is incredible. He opens guys up, and Brampton's got to start to utilize that a little more.
Brown had a late stick check by Medeiros, and that forces a turnover. So good defensive stance there by the Express now as Van Scheppen will hold steady, give way to Jeff Roy.
So I mentioned Shanahan, you just mentioned Medeiros. 2 unsung heroes on both ends of the floor for Brampton. Look, there we go.
Speaking of unsung hero, where have you been, Mitchell Jeffroy? Stand and deliver. We're tied at 4.
So you just said the best words. Where have you been, Mitchell Jeffroy? This was him last week. He would find a spot. He just comes into a shooter spot. He's made up his mind. I'm going to shoot this ball. Boom. And, look at Menzie. Menzie's cutting through. Cosgrove doesn't see the ball, right? I'm going to talk about it probably all night. Screen shots are the best shot in any game, but in lacrosse especially. And that's what Jeffroy did. Great screen, and he picks the far corner.
Good, you're going to talk about it all night because you're here all night, so that'll work out okay. Off the draw, you can tell momentum now working on the side of the Express. Off the draw, Gage Board has his pocket picked, though. Good defense there by Gillis. Board, though, relentless. He'll continue to fight and comes away with it. Gets a shot off, right on target. And now Cosgrove will have to move it up. That's what you expect from the guy wearing the C on your shirt.
Yeah, Gage Board is he's one of the top players in the league.
Van Scheppen with the interception. Van Scheppen in alone. Oh, Van Scheppen has given the Express their first lead of the game.
Yes, he did. And again, they loved the low shot on the glove side. Gillis turns it over, trying to throw a backhand into a crowd. And he probably would like to take that one back. Pavic just can't catch Van Scheppen. Speedy Van Scheppen picks the low glove. Cosgrove looks to be overplaying a little bit on a stick side and leaves a little bit too much room there. But now we've had, 9 goals in this game? It's 5-4. And I believe 8 of them have been in one end. So tilt that floor.
Floor tilted in one direction.
I know Dubes is hoping to tilt it back on the Paris bench.
He is. 4 unanswered by the Express and Jonah Beam off the draw, and he's been magnificent in that circle as he will settle things down. And McDonald now will look to go to work on the left side. Express rolling. 4 straight. Sutherland been quiet. Chelin looking for the flip. And a chop sees Lemaire go down. Shanahan looking to the bench there. Shot clock violation now. Lemaire, quick recovery. Back out there. Sends it to Angus. Angus on the run. Thinks better of it percentage-wise. Good decision. And in tight. Dawson, quick shot. Steered aside Nagy. Loose. Van Scheppen all over it. Van Scheppen all over it. Van Scheppen comes in. What a move. Van Scheppen. Oh, baby. That was a sweetie. Oh, man. Someone out there no longer has any clothes on.
Well, I think we see one of these from Luke Van Scheppen every game. Goes underneath, crease dive. He picks up a loose ball. I think he wanted to give it to Dawson there, but he saw Estrak come back. So here we go here. I'm sure Brampton's thinking it's close to crease. And that ball looks to be in the back of the net. Great goal by Van Scheppen on another one of his trademark crease dives.
So Van Scheppen and Van Scheppen were battling, and Van Scheppen came away with the goal. And we're tied at 5.
It's just, it's a big goal not only for Paris, it's a big goal for the game itself because it changes the momentum. And as we know, lacrosse is a game of swings and a game of momentum. And I know you want a tight battle tonight, and so do I. So what a great goal.
Hey, no vested interest here. Just want to see some good lacrosse as the Express now, that was a big goal, stopped a 4-goal run. And now Jeffroy turning the corner, finds Board. Board has room. And Board doesn't need any more room. That was a beauty on the short side.
That was a beauty on the short side because Board winds up like he's going to go far side, and he kind of hesitates, and then he rips it short side. Tough shot to throw, and a tough shot for Cosgrove. So he's thinking, okay, maybe long, and he just BBs it in the short side.
6-5 now in favor of the Express. And just want to send a shout out to the Ford clan that happens to be in the house. Good to see you. Always nice to have everyone there looking good. Jonah Beam now back to work in there with Jamie McMahon, and Newbro comes away with it on the flip. Looks ahead, had Angus, not able to connect. So Nagy will handle it from here and move it up to Sutherland.
There's Sutherland with a great look, Sutherland just had a great look, Lance. I think we're going to go to the TV timeout.
We will, and that's good because we're just going to hang out here and bring in our special guest, the GM for the Toronto Monarchs. Of course, Toronto set as the one team in tomorrow's final, and Blaine McCauley, thanks for joining us here. And I just want to note, though, that you're looking a lot more relaxed this game than you were before the earlier game.
Yes, it's a little intense, but very proud of our players and our staff. What they've done this year is they've captured the they've captured the team mentality, and we talked about it today about remembering when the league first started and the first 2 years that we had the Monarchs and the past Monarchs that built the Monarch family is what we call it. And the staff and the players have really bought in this year and done a great job of, getting us back to the championship. I still consider it some unfinished business that we have from the earlier years of when we first started in the league.
And you should, and of course you've been a mainstay with the team and our league since the inception. And let me ask you then, what has been the biggest adjustment you've had to make going from the head coaching position to the GM position? Because definitely a different look.
It is a different look, but I'm very fortunate enough. As I said, you want to build a team and make sure that you put the right pieces together on and off the floor. And I think we made some good adjustments off the floor with our coaching staff that we have, and it's paid off.
Speaking of adjustments, that tic-tac-toe was well done by the transition group as Brown, Newbro, and McMahon combined for a big goal. And boy, you wouldn't exactly have drawn it up quite like this, but effective for sure with Newbro putting the finishing touch and tying the game back at 6. And Blaine, I've noticed that when it comes to your squad and the coaching staff that they have done a really good job. They seem to have a really good connection with the players.
Yes.
And they have gotten these guys to buy in from day one. And today was probably a prime example of every single player in that Monarch uniform coming out willing to give 150%, and it showed.
Yeah, I mean, I go back to Jordan started with the team. And then I go back to Sean, was one of our original draft picks, and now who has put a staff together that has carried on that tradition. And we actually have players that are sitting out. Everyone's contributed to the success of the team and have bought in. We have players that aren't even being able to dress, not because they're not good players or anything, but they bought into the team atmosphere and the team, what we're trying to accomplish here. So it's great to see, and that's a testament to Sean and his staff that have built that family, that atmosphere that has made us successful so far.
Well, I'll interject and say that you laid the foundation for that, and they wouldn't really have been able to extend the building if there wasn't a solid foundation underneath. So congratulations to you. You guys have earned it. Now, mind you, you haven't put the finishing touches on anything yet. It's still unfinished business. But I'll say that you've done a great job, your coaching staff, and from the standpoint I stand in, those guys have been outstanding and a fantastic addition to this league, period. So we're glad to have them. Good job on you. I look forward to our chat tomorrow sometime.
I appreciate it.
All right, beautiful. So back to it as we're at the 4:20 mark here of this first half. Want to thank Blaine McCauley, GM for the Toronto Monarchs, for stepping in and joining us. And now looking for a cutter. Looked like that was Campbell cutting through, not able to convert. Van Scheppen now the other way, puts on the brakes, sends in Pincombe. He'll swing it down Agus, and Agus now will slow it up.
Yeah, that was a tough pass for Campbell coming off the bench, and had to swing his body, and just it was a tough catch and pass.
Yeah,
shoot.
They call it a suey, Paul. You know that. That's what they call
without
pass.
using the word, yes, you're 100% right.
They call that, and your teammates will remind you. Board, backdoor, Sutherland, back of the net.
So there's textbook transition, and it's hard to really make your D understand sometimes to run as hard as you can off the floor. And that's what they do here. They run, and they get Sutherland out early, and Board just waits and feathers it, makes sure he's ahead. And again, he just gives a little stick to hold the goalie and freeze him, and then buries it into the far side where your stick sees. All right, a lot of players out there, they don't realize your stick sees a little bit better in your eyes, and that's what Sutherland did on that one.
First of the game for Sutherland, and comes at a opportune time with just over 3.5 to go.
Yeah, absolutely, Lance. You want to get involved in a game in the first half, right? And that's what he just did.
Agus, wrong stick side to Van Scheppen, but it sat on the goal line, but didn't go across. McDonald will leg it back, so the Express dodge a bullet there. And the question is, can they capitalize here? They go to Shanahan. Seamus will swing it around, stay out there on offense. Sutherland has some room, lets it go that wide of the mark, and Ford had it, and he gets some backup from Brown. Brown will move it up, and it's Graham. Under 3 minutes to go here, first half. A one-goal game, so certainly what we expected, Paul, for sure, as Simonelli looking for something. Goes to the overhead and found it through the 5-hole. Noah Simonelli.
Okay, I'm watching Nagy after the shot. He's almost nodding his head like he missed it. He didn't miss it. Again, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to drive people nuts out here in the air. Watch this double defender screen with Lemaire. Actually, it's not Lemaire that comes up. It's the lefty. Dylan Goddard brings another body in. Simonelli shoots over top. And Nagy can't see it, so he's got to rely on his body to make the save, and it gets through him. And that happens to a lot of goalies. They get a little frustrated, but it happens a lot. Well, it's not bad goaltending. It's just a C&I shot goal.
Well, I ask you that really and truly, what do you have to do? Because in my opinion, from what I've seen from Nagy and based on his numbers, if he can see it, he'll stop it.
Absolutely correct, Lance. If he can see it, he can stop it. You're bang on. And in a lot of the goals tonight, he hasn't been able to see.
Someone didn't see that, but Sutherland sure saw that top corner.
Somebody's heating up. You said it. Brampton needed something out of Sutherland. Back-to-back goals by him. And he just moves his feet. This is all movement. Gets going. A little bit of speed. You're not catching him when he comes around the top like that. And he picks the top corner.
Good decision.
No goalie stopping
Good
that.
decision on the release to do it rate quickly on the run and not take that other step and allow Cosgrove to get set.
Yeah, he's got his stick up high in his shoulder, basically. You know, tough to see where he's going to shoot, and he just picks the corner.
Off the draw again, the express control. It's Board leaning in, wrong stick side. Board off the crossbar. We're inching towards a 2-minute warning now. 8-7 game.
Now,
Express leading.
Again, we can say that was a great opportunity by Board, but he's excited there, right? He thinks he has a chance. Maybe that's a pull-out, too.
In tight, trying to reach out and touch someone was Lemaire. Pavic battling for it, had it, lost it. Medeiros using his speed. Dawson cuts him off at the pass. Medeiros in some trouble, and they let it go, and a good job. It would have been an 8-second count, but instead we're going to have some penalties, and it looks like Pavic may be certainly guilty of something.
Looks like an illegal body check. If I caught referee Furman's hand on his shoulder there, it is Pavic, sorry. I'm not sure if they're talking about whether it's a 2 or 5. Let's see if we can roll a replay here. So Nagy actually steps up to make a pick 2, which is tough to get through for Lemaire, but the ball goes into the corner. Pavic comes in late here and throws it, and he throws the camera we lose it right at the end, but he kind of throws a late hit.
Campbell now will quarterback this edition of the power play, working with Sutherland, feeling it. That one, good save made by Cosgrove. Reset again. Campbell tees off. That's wide of the mark. Jeff Roy steers it, picks it up. No reset, though, on the play. Campbell working in the box, gapping it. Jeff Roy's going to take his turn. Ball loose now, and it's finally picked up. Newbro will move it. McMahon up to Brown. Brown going to have to keep the feet moving. In some trouble. Dumps it off now to McMahon. We're into the final minute here, first half.
Jeff Roy throws a one-handed slash, but he actually hits Campbell, so I don't think that's why. I think that's why they didn't call a slashing penalty there, but the fans sure reacted like there should have been one.
Van Scheppen and Bean have McMahon pinned in the corner, 42.2 seconds. And that'll be a possession change to Brampton, looking to capitalize here late, leading by a goal.
I've never led by 2, so let's see if they can get one more before the half.
A 12-second differential. Sutherland swing around. Jeff Roy goes to that far corner. Oh, money in the bank right there. On a power play goal, their second power play marker of the game, and it is a 9-7 lead.
Yep, this is almost like a flick of the wrist shot here where he catches the ball, and Cosgrove slides over, and I think it catches Cosgrove a little bit off guard, thinking, is he shooting it? Because he had obviously saw the Brampton guy slide behind the net as well, or is he passing it? And Jeff Roy, you give him a chance to shoot with a second extra to wind up. He's going to pick corners.
25.1 seconds to go here, and you got to figure that Paris may not be able to add to a tally, but they certainly don't want to give another one up, and Jonah Beam has been masterful in that face-off circle, and timeout to Brampton.
Yeah, Jonah Beam has been he has been masterful in that face-off circle, and he's been rewarded by Rochester Nighthawks signing him. Or sorry, my apologies, the Albany team signing him to their practice roster. So expect to see him play in the NLL probably as early as next weekend.
Well, that's what the league's really all about, Paul, about getting the guys to the next level and playing the best lacrosse that they can possibly play. And if you're in this scenario and you are the bench boss over there and Jeff Dowling, 22.8 seconds, who would you go to? Who would be the guy that takes this shot here? Because you're probably going to hold for one.
Well, you actually have 3 opportunities, right? Campbell's probably going to look for it at the top, but I don't think he's going to be the shooter. I would look for Jeff Roy or Sutherland if they're looking for a flat-out shot. If they decide to use the guy behind the net for a dunk, almost like we saw Paris in the tying goal against Whitby last week where they had a set play where they threw it behind a Dawson who dunked it, we might see that here. But look at the way they're setting up. They're not throwing anyone behind early. So let's see if they slide a guy in behind or if they just look for the open guy by moving the ball to get an open look.
So net empty for the extra attacker. The Express certainly trying to let this one wind down, get the final shot of the half. as 15 on the game clock. They'll go around 10. It's at 10. And Campbell now will kick start at 5. Kick out. Jeffroy well wide of the mark, and a good call up here by Mr. St. John. Nothing doing, but an outstanding 30 minutes of lacrosse here at the track. 9-7, favor of the Express, as we will hold off and wait for our roving reporter to get in position. Why don't we take a quick break, and we'll come back with Matt Carrick. Welcome back as we get set for halftime. Let's send it down to Matt Carrick with a special guest, head coach of the Paris Riverwolves, Jamie Dubrick.
Thanks a lot, Lance. Jamie, you guys went to overtime last week. You'd probably like to have this one a little bit less close than it is coming into halftime here.
Yeah, every game's going to be a battle for sure. A 2-goal game's great. It's been a really good game the whole way through right now. So for sure, last week it was a high-scoring game back and forth, and this one's going to probably end in the same way.
It has been a game of runs so far. How do you keep momentum on your side once you get it?
Just tell the guys to keep on doing the same things. We have been doing that. Take away the transition, keep on doing what we're doing. Every team's going to have a little run here and there. We had a run early, they had a run late, and then a couple calls here and there, like a couple power play goals at the end. But other than that, I think it's been a pretty clean game, and our defense has been playing great. Goaltender's been playing really good too, and yeah, we're happy with what we're doing.
Clean game, but it looks like it's physical, especially in the corners, ground balls. Does that surprise you at all?
No, it's for a game like this, it's going to be like that. The refs are letting a lot of things go. It just gets tough when there's a couple calls that are going one way or the other, where it's like, we're not calling this way. You know what I mean? So like those are the ones that are getting the guys a little bit more worked up. But semifinal game, winner goes on to the finals. They're going to leave everything on the line, right? So it's going to be a little bit more mucking in the corners for balls and everything else.
Gotcha, Jamie. Good luck in the second half. Thanks a lot.
Very much. Appreciate it.
Paris down 2 goals right now, 9-7. We'll send it back upstairs to Lance Wayne.
Thanks very much, Matt, as we will get set. 30 minutes done. We've got another 30 ahead. Quarter number 3 when we come back.
I'm here with their head coach. This is Jeff Dowling, and they started off Paris with that big run to start. How did you guys stay composed on the bench?
Yeah, basically we were just telling the guys it's even keeled. You know, there's a game of runs. We know every team's going to go on a run. We just had to play smart, keep our cool, not get too up, not get too down, and that's what the boys on the bench were praising that too. So,
And that's exactly what happened, the runs back and forth. How do you keep momentum on your side when you get it?
yeah, you know, it's about the little things. Every little battle, every loose ball, we have to battle for it. Whether we win it or not, we have to be there and we have to fucking show up.
It's all good. We're online. We have different rules. Finally, the guys are saying when Lucas Nagy sees the ball, he can stop it for sure. How do you make sure your defenders let him have that shot at it?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just about communication on the back end and making sure guys are talking to each other and, you know, firing out on picks and be able to, you know, make sure that Lucas does have that space and time to see that ball.
Excellent. Good luck.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Thanks a lot. Jeff Dowling will send it back upstairs. Lance Wynn and Paul St. John.
Thanks very much, Matt, and thank head coach Jeff Dowling of the Brampton Express. They lead this one 9-7 here. And Paul, let me ask you, 30 minutes, and Brampton may have been off to a slow start, but they seem to have sort of set the ship right.
Yeah, that second quarter turnaround early where they scored 4 in a row to take their first lead really helped them. You know, you looked at Paris. I believe they were down 9-8 at the half last week to Whitby, so they're in a good position. Brampton was, I believe, tied going into the half, or close to it. So they're both evenly matched teams, like we said, off the hop, and here we are in a 2-goal game.
As Volkov will dump it and he'll retreat. Of course, it was the Express 15-13 winners over the Ohsweken Bears in the quarterfinal last week. And right off the bat, wasted no time on the board. The Express add to their lead now. It's 10-7.
So you watch the Express all year long, and Gage Board, who plays more offense than usual for a transition guy, this is a set play. Campbell just takes his time. Agus has covered him, and he just runs by him. And Board's sitting there as a distributor, waiting for him. It's in a stick. It's in the back of the net.
Third of the game for Campbell. And it looks like we were keeping an eye on Jordan Aki on the sideline there, and it looks like he is done for the day. We'll get you the details, but in the meantime, between time, Cosgrove comes up with a good save there, and the outlet now Newbro.
Yeah, big save off Horsley. I think it was his wrist they were working on when we were looking at the pitcher, Lance. So
Newbro looking for Simonelli. Didn't make a good pass there. Simonelli ran into a wall, looking to get it back, and that'll be possession to the Express. And Van Scheppen now will move it up to Menzies. So defensively, that certainly hurts. But Wittig from in tight, point blank. Rebound picked up. Jeffro shoveled. Jerminski. Rebound now. Paris going to try to capitalize in transition. Ruddy looking for it or not, and instead is picked up by Medeiros. Sends it over. Wittig waits for a trailer, and Jeffro on the run, steered aside by Cosgrove.
2 big saves by Cosgrove after giving up that early one by Campbell.
Wittig puts on the brakes, reverse pivot out, has some room, goes to the underhand. Rebound almost ricocheted back into the net. And now Richard Imus. He's going to have to use his speed. He does, gets it over the timeline. Paris going to have to be a little more effective and efficient on offense here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Agus, and I'm not seeing Angus, sorry, and I'm not seeing Kyle Dawson on this one. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But those two guys have to get on the floor and have to start contributing.
Campbell tried to get a shot off. It got blocked, and now Martin will move it up. He's got his strat with him, and Gage Board, that went off the post. Rebound, ricochets, and Riverwolves now with a chance here. It's Brown, had a notion. Lemaire trailing, going to bounce off 1, 2, and go for the dive, but ran out of real estate. And that'll be possession to Brampton going up the other way.
Even to get that shot off by Lemaire is pretty incredible. Love to see that one, just to see how far in the crease he was.
Well, he had a couple defenders draped all over him. As Sutherland now on the curl. Campbell, the bounce shot, good save. Rebound, Shanahan had it knocked out of his stick the last second. And now Agus. As we are inching toward the 12-minute mark, third quarter. Agus using his body on Jeff Roy. Gets it over. Now there's Dawson. Swing it around. Angus, give and go, backdoor. Angus, what a save, Nagy. Oh, my. A little shoulder from Nagy and a denial made. Back the other way now. Come the Express.
Great look by Angus, great pass by Angus, but those are the ones you want from Lemaire and Simonelli. Those are the guys that got to get that far open.
Sutherland with a beauty, and you talk about feathering that in. He feathered that through the 5-hole neatly, and it's 11-7.
Yeah, Challen at the top, and again, Sutherland just comes running through, and they're just sliding off defenders. Graham loses them, and Sutherland wide open. And a drop pass comes in from Challen. I think that's his hat-trick goal. So, again, you spoke about him late in the second quarter. He got 2 in a row, and he adds one early here in the third. That's another big goal for Brampton. They're up 4. Can they keep the momentum going, or does Paris have an answer?
Third of the game for Sutherland, and off the draw. Once again, Brampton with possession. Estrat. Board, quick shot. Good save there, Cosgrove. Rebound, Board had it. And now it's Brown.
What I'm noticing with Brampton on transition and offense is they're not making the extra pass right now. They want to get shots away, and that's where Board shot. Campbell shot one earlier. Didn't score on both of them, but they got good looks.
Delayed penalty as Pavic comes racing out late and loses the battle for the loose ball, and Paris will go to work on just their second power play opportunity of the game.
And a big power play it is. Paris has to get momentum going. We're going to see Davis Prince for a second shift. Let's count, if we get into a penalty thing here, how many times Davis Prince comes out, and let's see if he can go 100% tonight. He's one for one already. Let's see if he can go 2 for 2.
You know how my counter is. Why are you bringing my counter into it? You know it's questionable as it is. Okay?
Well, I used to think I was good at math, so I'll try to help count for you.
No. I'm good at numbers. I'm not good at math, okay? Totally different.
My shoes slip off pretty easily, so if I got to use my toes, I will.
So Prince at the top, and looking for that corner was Angus, but Nagy showed it and then closed it, and a good pass ahead to Board. Board, drop off for Estrat. 2-on-1. Campbell filling the lane. Goes to the bounce shot. Short-handed marker. Express are rolling along the tracks.
Okay, should I say Ryan Campbell's 36 years old? Oh, I just said it. Here's a guy who's 36 years old playing like he's 23. Flying all over the floor in offense. Comes off the bench hard. I didn't think Estrat saw him at first, but now, watching the replay, Estrat sells it like I don't see him. And then Campbell's so wide open, he gives it to him. And again, I think all 4 of Campbell's goals have been low or a bounce shot. And that was a bounce shot.
Well, if it ain't broke, you surely don't fix it, as Riverwolves, for a change, they come away with the face-off.
Yeah, Paris can't let this game get away from them. Right now, they're letting this game get away from them.
So a short-handed marker, minute 20 left in the Paris power play. Prince out there, Angus, Dawson, Angus curling around. This is where you have to watch. Don't try to press too hard and force things. Just need to claw your way back into this game, a goal at a time. Lemaire. And Lemaire's been quiet for these Riverwolves here in this one. Prince, dump back off. Simonelli, duck in. Shot, saved by Nagy. Rebound picked up by Board. Board on the run. Has Estrat with him. Board, 2-on-2. And he'll pull it out. We're under 10 minutes to go here. 46 seconds left in the penalty.
And I believe Brampton can probably take this right down to about 20 seconds left in the power play. Give Paris maybe one more shot.
Campbell gets a step, ducks in, ducks back out. Does a good job, shot clock winding down, plays catch with Cosgrove and burns the 30 in the process. And now Paris with just 20 seconds left now to work with on the power play. Angus with some room goes to the top shelf, wide of the bar. Rebound buried. So we needed something from Lemaire, and the Riverwolves got it.
And, again, Angus takes a shot, misses by a little bit. Ball comes off the boards, and Lemaire finds it before The defender Martin finds it, and it's in the back of the net because Nagy's off to the one side playing the left shooter. Key to this goal here is Lemaire doesn't lose where the ball goes as an offensive player. So he's probably thinking, I'm going to crash for a rebound, but it goes in behind the net, and he picks it off the boards and quick sticks it into the net there.
So a much-needed marker and a power play marker for the Riverwolves, as they are 1 for 2, but they have given up a shorthanded. And regardless of that power play goal, the Express continue coming. Board. Van Scheppen on him. On the roll. Sutherland has room, goes to the far side. What? Rebound, another good save, Cosgrove. Campbell all over that rebound. Newbro all over him. Campbell comes away. Challenge shot stopped. Rebound loose. Diving to Jaminski. Boy, you talk about living on the doorstep. That is his house.
That is his house. Absolutely. Did you say Demin's house or Deminsky?
Well, you know, I said
because he looked like
Deminsky's
coming
place.
through here, he scoops right through. And you know what? Again, we talked about this in the first half. He shoots where the stick sees, right? So he just slides his arm forward, slides his stick out, and throws it around Cosgrove.
Well, you're the one that said the stick's got the eyes, right? See a little further than your regular eyes can see, and certainly the case there. But if you're Brampton, that's the kind of answer that you want, an immediate one.
You use the answer, but you know what? They already had the answer because they scored a shorthanded goal, right? So they offset a power play goal right away. So that's the bonus goal, right? Because it puts them up by 5 now.
Everyone likes the bonus plan, including Jonah Bean. Bean will set it up, get it to Medeiros. Medeiros slide it over. Menzies now work it to the left side. Under 8.5 to go here, third quarter. One of these two teams will meet the Toronto Monarchs in tomorrow's championship final. With room, it's Jeffroy wide of the mark. Angus picks up that loose ball, and I'm not quite sure the full numbers on Marley Angus, but I would venture to say that they need more from him as well as more from Lemaire.
Yeah, and Dawson. The three of those guys have to start stepping up now, not wait too late here, or it's going to be too late.
Campbell trying to leaning in. Campbell backhand save. Rebound, and that's a beauty finish right there, and it's Dylan Goddard.
Well, you know what? There's another unsung hero, right? And you need those guys. If your big guns aren't putting the ball in the net, you need those guys to start getting goals to keep you in the game, and he does. Campbell uses his size up against McDonald, who's another big body. And then again, you just see Goddard pick it up, and he just shovels shots backhand into the net around Nagy.
But a good choice of shot selection there, Paul. I mean, he could have went to the backhand, could have tried to stay in his forward, but to go to the shovel and do it lightning quick.
Yeah, I think you're right, Lance. I think that was the only shot he really had. For him to turn around and try to go overhand would have been tough, and even to throw a reverse backhand would have been even harder.
Now, I'm not quite sure how often you practice that one, but hey, and quickly in transition, Volkov was looking for board. They weren't able to connect. Now Van Scheppen takes a hit, didn't see board behind him, and gets bailed out Lemaire. Lemaire rolls off of Jonah Beam now. Lemaire, wrong stick side. Lemaire, kick it over. Angus swinging around Dawson. And you're right, quiet Mr. Dawson on the turnaround. Angus, swing, good ball movement. Duck in, Van Scheppen. Jonah Beam had his jersey. I don't think any of the officials caught that. But they'll swing it back to Angus. Angus gets a step, peels back out. Estrad on him.
I think Paris might have got one there on a reset.
Good job, and there's number 19, Captain Dawson, standing tall.
Not sure if Nagy got a piece of Van Scheppen's one-handed shot, but they gave Paris a reset. And then Dawson and Angus, again, we talk about the pick and roll and the two-man game and stuff. We don't see it enough. And there's a nice one. Jonah Bean loses Dawson to slide over to help on Angus, and it's just into Dawson, and Paris needs that. And we saw last week, too. Dawson was really quiet last week against Whitby in the first half, and then he was on fire the whole second half, and they need that again this week.
I like that there. I like the patience on offense because they ran the screen and roll twice on that. Didn't get anything the first time. Went right back to it, and now Shanahan off the draw. He'll flip it back. McDonald will hold up, wait a minute. And now here come the Brampton offense. 6:40 to go here, third quarter. 3-goal game. Sutherland. Riverwolves are in reach. Bounces back out looking for Wittig in the middle. Nothing doing, and heads up play there, but that's a crease call, and with just under 6.5 to go, that will take us to our officials' timeout. We'll take a quick break. You are watching the Arena Lacrosse League playoffs. Back here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center, Lance Wynn working alongside Paul St. John. Glad you've joined us here. Happy Easter, happy Passover, and happy Good Friday to you. Hope you got some food in your bellies and you're sitting back and enjoying this lacrosse game here. The Toronto Monarchs have punched their ticket to tomorrow's final. One of these two teams will join them. Riverwolves to work on offense. Dawson surveying, looking in tight to Angus, not able to connect. Lemaire trying to bail him out. It's Estrat that comes away with it. He's going to use his speed, get over the timeline easily. And thinking better of it, he'll pull up and wait for the rest of the Brampton offense. Chelland will swing it around. They'll start it with Campbell. Half boards, left side. Johnson on him. Gets a screen, bounces out. Van Scheppen trying to take it, swim through, kick back out. Chelland, Agus harassing them there. 5 on the shot clock, and just lopped it into the corner. And possession now to Paris. That's not such a bad play.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice by Campbell there. Just to dump it, get the four guys are up high for Brampton off, get the 4D on, and then the fifth guy can get on as well.
Dawson now, been out there for a long shift, played the defensive end as well. Kick it over, looking for Pavic, nothing doing, and it's intercepted. And off to the races is McDonald. But knowing his role, he'll pull up, and they will be very deliberate on offense as we move towards the 5-minute mark.
Next goal's a big one, Lance.
Sutherland trying to get a half step, has Ford on him, chased him out. Sutherland goes back, looking far corner. That will go up off the glass, stay in play. Menzies will zip it across, give it to Sutherland. 5 on the shot clock, 1-on-1. Sutherland, double team, shovels it on target. It goes loose. Shanahan bailing for it, picked up by Ford. Ford will get it up. Van Scheppen now.
Big defensive stance for Paris. They need a goal. If they get another one, that's 3 in a row for them, and they're officially on a run.
Angus, the trailer. Looking, has Goddard cutting through, sends it Van Scheppen. 10 on the shot clock. Van Scheppen tried to duck in. Simonelli picks that up. 5 on the shot clock. Lets it go on target. Nagy had to make a good save. That's a back-in call. And possession will stay right here with the Riverwolves. Angus. Dump it down, they'll work it left side. Kick it back over. Simonelli on the isolation with Volkov. Gets a screen, Lemaire. Look at Cutter, backhand. Good backhand, but right in the breadbasket. Easy one for Nagy, and he'll send away Bean. The quality of shots just have to be really high in order to beat Nagy.
Yeah, he's focused. He's zoned in here. He's allowed the last 2, but he's not going to allow 3 if he can help it. It's going to have to be an excellent shot to beat him.
Wittig. Chelland lets it go. It goes off Newbro. No reset. 5 on the shot clock. Got to hurry. Wittig wide of the mark. And possession to Paris. 3:35 to go here, third quarter. So Paris continue to hang around, and staying within striking distance here.
Yeah, they definitely need the next one as well. See if they can get one on this offensive possession.
Pavic trying to work his way through, draws a double team, loses it. McDonald picks it up, and he'll look to move it up to Medeiros. 2-on-1 now. Campbell jumps in the rush. Campbell, big save, Cosgrove. Creased the call, but Cosgrove with a big stop, standing and delivering here late in this third quarter.
Sign of a good young goalie. He knows Campbell shot there the last 2 times and scored, and he shuts her down this time.
Angus on the roll, had Goddard, changed it up. Nagy to save, rebound, Dawson spins off one, good save Nagy. And he smothers that loose ball with Pavic on the doorstep, and now Estrat will hold up just over the timeline. Two and a half minutes, Sutherland tees it up, and that's what we're used to seeing from Zach Sutherland.
I heard you guys many times this year call a goal like that a BB, and that's a BB. Like, he just comes off, he's shooting all the way. Sees the open floor, there's no way anyone's coming over to get a stick in the lane like Jamie McMahon tried to do there, and he just rips it glove side. Right, and again for Cosgrove, it's tough because he's it's very early in the shot clock and he's thinking they're going to set up. Guy comes running down, so he's a little bit back, waiting, see what's going to happen. But by the time he gets a chance to react, it's in behind him.
4-goal lead for the Express, and you called it, Paul. A big goal, an important goal. Beam bounces off 2, give and go. Beam off the post. Rebound going to go up, and Angus in a foot race with Board. Board and Angus holds him off and finds the back of the net. That's the answer Paris was looking for.
Marley Angus last week, 0 goals, 9 assists. I said 9 assists, right? Today, 0 goals, I believe. I don't think he has one.
He does.
This is a scorer's goal where he tucks his stick into his body that Board can't get it. Can't whack it, can't hack it, and he just pulls it in and then pulls it back, and he's looking all the way to know where he wants to shoot, and he goes 5-0. It's now a 3-goal game again.
Well, you make it sound so easy, Mr. St. John. Sure. Volkov peels out as we are headed towards a 2-minute warning here. 3-goal game again. Sheldon will send it. Campbell swing it over Shanahan. Shanahan kick it over Sutherland. Sutherland, a great third quarter. Snap pass. Campbell had it pop out. Newbro chasing him down. No call on the stick hold. Newbro's going to foot that up and scoop it up. He's got Brown, but he'll think about coming around his stick side. And a little clutch and grab going on there. Good job by Newbro. Campbell will filter it over. Angus down low on the crease. Simonelli, what a save, Nagy.
Huge save. Huge save by Nagy.
Blank. Nagy up to the task.
So we talk about Angus and the assist total. Unofficially in this game, he has 5. So we talk about they need something out of him. Assist count, right? and we just never know how many they have. So he's unofficially has 5, and we just saw a goal from him.
Campbell and Dawson. It's Dawson here. Into the final minute, third quarter. Dumps it down. Goddard will swing it around Lemaire. Lemaire gets a screen on Beam. Takes a good cross check. Another one. 5 on the shot clock. Lemaire still got the feet going. Swings it back. What a pass! I don't know how many eyes he has in his head, but boy, oh boy, that there was a beauty.
What do you call that, 25? What's his name, Dylan?
Good Goddard.
Good Goddard.
Finding
Boy,
the open spot.
can I change this on this one? Because this is almost the same type goal he scores where he shovels it, right? But I want to call him Dylan Great Goddard, just to have that presence of mind to catch on his wrong side, coming back around the net and throwing it in.
Well, you know,
this
you're
is a
just
huge
showing
goal.
off now. That's just what it's called.
Yeah, I'm having
I
fun.
just wanted you to know.
Right? That's what we're supposed to do. You said you got to have some fun.
Listen, I know, but I mean, you can't bite my stuff. Come on now.
Well, we're down to 2, right? We're down to 2 with 48 seconds left to go.
Listen, I'm sure he'll be good with good or great Goddard. Either way, I don't know. There are worse nicknames you could have, so take it and run with it, young fella. Brampton now, Volkov, and Volkov was playing his own game, and there was no whistle in, and that's what the Paris bench is talking about. Hey.
I don't think you can get mad at Volkov there because it is Brampton's ball. The officials didn't blow it back in, so He went with the ball, waiting for him. He just went with it and shot it. So it should be Paris's ball back at center. They almost need to probably reset the clock at 47 seconds. Probably won't. But, yeah, they're going to bring it back to center by the looks of things here.
So 43.4 seconds, the Express with possession in a 2-goal game. And this game is not disappointed. Campbell swinging around, looking for something late. That shot Jeffroy right on. Stopped by Cosgrove. Cosgrove now the outlet pass. And Brown in some trouble. He'll move it up. Graham, and Graham can't handle it. Took his eye off it. 30 seconds. And possession to the Express. No numbers up there, and they're going to call timeout.
I don't think they wanted a timeout. Jeffroy looked over and made the timeout motion. I'm looking over at Brampton's bench. I'm looking over at, and they're looking like, oh boy, we didn't want that, but they called. Jeffroy called it, and the referees are, you can't change your mind after you've called it. Oh,
no.
Wait a second, I don't want that timeout.
Take that one back.
Yeah, take it back.
I'll wait for the next one.
Give it to Paris. Give it to Paris if you want. We'll save ours for the fourth quarter in case we need it.
Well, tell me, Paul, you got 27.6 seconds left here. Possession. Obviously, it's a tight game. Who are you going to here? Who would you like to take that final shot? Because they are going to probably hold for the final shot.
Yeah, we'll see if they actually do. I'm not sure because I don't think they really wanted to call a timeout. So let's see if they pull Nagy. It's actually probably the right time to pull him because he's got the nearest run from the bench to the net, right? It's not the long run. So if they pull him, there's still a lot of time left. So never mind what Brampton might do. What might Paris do on defense? Do they jump the ball right away if they do pull the goalie? I don't know. We'll see if Dubes has that up. But again, I like the play where you push it down low and play for the last shot behind the net stuff. You see that more and more often in lacrosse now. They in the first time they did this, they went to Jeffroy on the left shooter side, right? I think Paris will be looking for that. So you might want to try to sneak something down further low. And Nagy is staying in the net, at least for now.
So we'll see how that transpires. And you're right, at least for now, as he's inching toward that bench, and that's the case. Campbell's going to come out as the sixth attacker with 18 seconds. Game clock moving down. 10. Kick back out Estrat. Got to go to work. 7. Swing it over. Can't connect. Picked up. Launched down the distance of the carpet wide of the mark, and that is going to put a wraps on 3 quarters. Boy, fasten your seatbelt. We've got some kind of fourth for you when we come back. You're watching the 2023 Arena Lacrosse League playoffs. Back here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Lance Wynn, Paul St. John, JVI Productions holding it down like we always do here for the Arena Lacrosse League, and we were treated to some good action in Game 1. Toronto Monarchs put on an impressive display. They beat the Six Nations Snipers 19-13 to advance to tomorrow's final. Here it's a 2-goal game, fourth quarter, and it's all on the line. Angus, so possession off the draw to Van Scheppen and the Riverwolves. Takes a high stick there. Everyone looked over at official Kyle Coulter, see if he was going to make a call. Nothing doing. Brown now, 15 on the shot clock. Campbell swinging around. Angus, 10. Angus, beam on him, sends it Brown, going to have to make a move. Gauge board on him. And Brown has it pop out of his stick. Board will just hold him. And now the Express will move up the other way. They made that defensive hold look easy, Paul.
Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. Paris just seemed to come out wanting to kill 30 seconds. So I'm not sure why. They're missing some of their righty offensive guys, but it is what it is.
Sutherland puts on the brakes, reverses his direction, kicked it over, looking for Jerminski. 10 on the shot clock. Shanahan leaves it. Campbell gets the shot off, stopped by Cosgrove.
Tough save.
And he'll move up, and the outlet will get moved up by Paris. Graham going to have to tuck that in. McDonald hovering around that stick. Lemaire swinging around. It's Agus. Hunter Agus trying to lean in on Shanahan. Agus, good shoulder save, Nagy. Lemaire had to rebound momentarily, got picked up, and here come the Express now on the run. Van Scheppen. Menzies out of the back door, trailing 8. Sutherland wide of the mark. That ball rebound, and another Van Scheppen on Van Scheppen. He's going to try to leg it. Jeffroy chases him down. Van Scheppen, and what another great save by Nagy. Oh my, Van Scheppen on Van Scheppen, and it'll get moved up into the offensive end by Volkov.
Van Scheppen complaining about the other Van Scheppen, I think, and likewise. Looking for bragging rights.
How that Easter dinner is going to go, I guess it'll depend on the result. As I hear they travel in separate cars. Taking it right in, and Cosgrove held the pose, but in the crease, it looked like Chullen had landed in the crease before it crossed the goal line.
Yeah, it'd be great to have a look at that if we get it stoppage and play. But you look at it, Abbott was right on the goal line there, watching it. A great view of it, and when the ball went in the net, and the player in the crease.
Campbell sizing up the situation, dumps it in tight, and from point blank, Nagy with the save. I don't think Angus got as much on it as he would have liked.
No, but a great stick by Estrat to get it in on the hands of Angus before he could shoot. So you did get the shot off, but it wasn't as hard as you said.
Board. There's Angus on him. Sutherland thought about it. Malcolm Ford marking him. Board on the cut. Takes it back. Gives it back. Sutherland has room. That shot just over the net. That's a violation.
So, Lance, we do have a great crew in JVI and in the booth and stuff, and they've already looked at the replay that we were just talking about on the goal down here. Got called back, and it was no goal. The ball was not in before the player was in the crease. So, again, those guys in stripes are right.
Well, it's Lemaire with the hands, the duck in, and a robbery by Nagy. Rebound. Dawson took a hard hit from behind. No call there. And he's still down. And Volkov, in the meantime, between time, will pull up. And he'll look for some help. 15 on the shot clock. Volkov dumps it off finally to Shanahan. And now they go to Whitting. 7 on the shot clock. Sutherland had a notion, peel around. Good defense. Whitting from way out wide of the mark. Shanahan the rebound. Gonna have to shoot it, instead pass it. That's a shot clock violation, possession to the Riverwolves. Paul, I know anything close, you're going to be all over.
Yeah,
okay?
you know what? Sure. I think Dawson got hurt on that play. Looked like a high stick that was missed. I just gave the Stripes kudos, but they might have missed one there. We don't know. We haven't seen the replay, but Dawson seems to be hurt. He's getting some attention on the side here.
Angus going for a run around the dot and in tight to Pavic. Not able to capitalize. Rebound. Back to Angus. 5 in the shot clock. Campbell shot wide of the mark. Rebound will sit there in that dotted half circle. Shanahan and Lemaire get all tangled up. And it'll be Brampton with Horsley into the offensive end.
Yeah, they need something. Paris does need something from Andy Campbell. He's been pretty quiet so far, too.
Well, they certainly need a defensive stop here. More importantly, is Sutherland denied. No goal, the call. And they're saying, I think, that Jeff Roy was in the crease. And I don't hear a whole lot of protest from anyone.
No. And you know what? That was Abbott again. That's been in the right position, right? So 2-1 for the Strikes. Although looking back, it looks like Dawson was hurt on the upper shoulder, not in the head.
Angus, wrong stick side, thinks better of it, coming around, Teno Chaka, beauty pass, Van Sheppen. And I don't know how Van Sheppen even got a fake and a shot off with Volkov on him, but Gage Board countering the other way. Board, trailer, Chullin, stopped by Cosgrove. The netminders are standing tall here right now. Simonelli, 3-on-1. Simonelli down low, and Graham, I don't know why, wasn't expecting it because he was wide open. And instead, Brampton the other way, just over 9.5. Volkov, Sutherland. And we've seen that go in the back of the net in the blink of an eye before.
Yeah, and Graham's defense, that was a real tough pass by Simonelli. It was down and around his hip. Yeah, he might not have been expected because Simonelli wound up like he was going to shoot and wanted to dunk it, obviously. It would have been a nice play if the ball was up high where Graham wanted to pass. So Dawson is back out, so no worse for wear.
No worse for wear, you're right. Lemaire off the boards. Lemaire goes to the bounce, that's wide of the mark and stays in play. And Volkov going to try to use his speed. Volkov gets a step. Sorry, McDonald, and Cosgrove cut down that angle and closed it off. Paris now with a chance here, and off the cross check. Boy, you don't see that happen too often. Pincombe got checked, lost it, went right out of play into the Brampton bench. And a solid cross check there from Johnson. And you may have had a better angle of that than I had, but I don't know.
It looked like Sutherland, too, that got hurt. I'm not sure if his leg was planted. Matt's going to try to pull up a replay for us, but I'm not sure if his leg got planted as Johnson was laying a hit. We'll get that, hopefully get to see that in a second. Here we go here. So Johnson sticks the stick in like a little poke. There's the little step. He little slips. You see his foot slip on the turf. See right there, and then Johnson pushes him with his hand and pushes him down.
I think his knee, based on the replay, John.
Johnson does stick his hand up in there, Lance, but it almost looks like he's fallen off balance and his knee twisted a bit. So let's hope it's not serious. It looks serious, but let's hope it's not.
Before there was any kind of contact, I think on the stop, I think that's what may have caused the initial injury. And
you see the concern on the Brampton bench. Here it is again, Lance. So we see the hand by Johnson up. He gives him a little push there. And see that it looks like the left. Yeah, it is the left leg that looks like it buckles. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully it's not as serious as it looks. But this one might be a tough one here for the Express.
Great job by our camera crew getting those angles for us.
We're going to have a quick look at the Brampton no goals as well. So let's roll them if we can. So here's the first one here. I believe it's Chullin. Chullin goes across. So the ball hangs up, and it actually goes across the line. Yeah, this does not look good. They're carting Sutherland off here. But here's the second one. Sutherland shoots. I'm not so sure about that one because it almost looks like Jeff Roy, because the rule is you have to get out of the crease and you have to be in control of your body, believe it or not, and reposition yourself. It almost looks like he did. So as we go back to live action, you see Sutherland making his way to the Brampton dressing room.
So a big blow for the Brampton Express as Sutherland has been helped off to the change room with 8:46 to go in a 2-goal game. And it will be possession to Paris. And you can see Marley Angus going to have to work to get it over the timeline. Gage Board on him with some full court pressure. Board works Angus hard. Angus wrong stick side, peels in, kicks it out. Dawson had a notion, dumps it in. Campbell, he'll spin around, kick it back out. Angus, good move, shot, stopped by Nagy, almost slipped through the 5-hole, but Nagy closed that off. McDonald now will move it up for the Express, heads up the back door, nothing doing, good coverage, Van Sheppen. Menzies filters out as well, as does Wittig. Menzies looking for an opening, race around. Van Scheppen on him, backhand right off the mask of Cosgrove. Now in transition, it's Newbro. He'll think better of it. One-on-one matchup, 3-on-2 now. McMahon dunks it back down. Newbro, wrong stick side, looking for Van Scheppen, but Newbro knew he didn't have a good angle. Volkov picks it up. Volkov gone over the timeline.
Let's see who picks it up on the right side for Brampton, with Sutherland definitely probably done for the day. We've got Menzies and we got Estrada probably play a little bit more offense for them now as well.
Jeffroy dodges a check in Ruddy, comes back around. Ruddy with his stick in almost in between the legs there. Medeiros picks up, no reset, got to hurry. 5 on the shot clock. Good cross check. Ruddy putting the pressure on. That deflected. And Jerminski went through the crease. Possession will stay right here with the Riverwolves, and with 7:22 to go. That will take us to our final officials timeout. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the Arena Lacrosse League playoffs. Welcome back. 14-12 the score here. The Brampton Express leading.
Can I ask you a question? What haven't we seen in this quarter?
Because we've seen a whole lot.
We haven't seen a goal.
I agree.
We haven't seen a goal.
That's the only thing we haven't seen. We went in with a 14-12 score. Lemaire trying to change that, ducks in. And you got to figure with 7 minutes to go, that bodes well for Paris more so. And I only say that because they're still in it. Brampton is leading in the driver's seat. Simonelli on target. I don't know how Nagy even saw that, as that was destined for the 5-hole.
Get down, get big, and hope the ball hits you, because honestly, it's a nice save, but it is one that he needed to hit him instead of going in the back, right?
On the run, and Cosgrove equally as good there on the bounce shot from Board. And a reset for the Express now. 6.5 to go. Whitting on the curl around. Not able to bury the shovel, and now it's Agus. Agus with 2 defenders chasing him now, 3. Agus, hesitation. Agus peels back out. Looking for someone and finds Van Scheppen. So a good job by Hunter Agus. He's done a lot of good things here in this game.
Yeah, he has.
That's
Definitely
his shot,
has.
looking for that far corner. Agus, Pavic wide open. Fake, what a save! Nagy, oh my! Arrest that man for robbery.
That was the hand of the law, was it not?
That was the hand of the law. Menzies at the other end. Oh, stop by Cosgrove.
That's the arm of the law.
Oh, give it to me straight, doctor.
We
can take it.
We are back and forth, end to end.
Pincombe tiptoed on the line, and Volkov put the wood on him. 2-on-1, and Estrat was not going to be denied.
Yeah, unfortunately for Paris, ball on the wrong stick. Gets knocked down, gets stripped here, and Volkov just picks it up and makes the right choice by moving the ball to Estrat, and Estrat just rips it top shelf.
You got to like that fake, too, again from...
You know, you could do an easy drop pass back to Volkov, but why take the risk of a drop pass? So Estrat with the confidence and just, like I said, rips it.
Big goal, first goal of this 4th quarter, and off the draw. Board is going to race down deep into the offensive end. Van Scheppen on him. Board sheds Van Scheppen's stick now, kicks it back out to Beam. Beam will slide it across, and it's Chullen. Mikhail Chalin gets a screen, dumps it off, wide open, down low is Medeiros. Oh my, X Factor right there, big goal for the Express.
So when I talked about who's going to step up on the right side, I don't think I mentioned Medeiros. I didn't say Challen because he's already out there, right? But Challen here takes the leadership of, I'm going to throw a fake. Medeiros slides underneath. And again, they've done this enough where they've slid away from their defender. He gets the drop pass. And again, he just throws the ball where the stick sees it, right? He throws it around Cosgrove, low side. The stick sees that spot. And here we are. It's a 4-goal spread, and things aren't looking great for the Paris Riverwolves.
Well, give Medeiros some credit. Didn't try to be too fancy either. It was a quick fake and in that low corner. And off the draw again, Jonah Beam, surprise, surprise possession. Riverwolves, though, battle back. Malcolm Ford does a good job fighting again, but better forechecking from the Express and Beam. Beam, relentless, gets taken to the carpet twice, still has it, flips it out to Estrat. So a well-deserved round of applause because that's just good, hard, gritty work right there by Jonah Beam.
Yeah, he's been fantastic all night. It won't show up in the score sheet because we don't keep the face-offs, wins and losses, but I don't think he's lost any.
And there it's going to be an interference call, and possession's going to go to Paris. So McMahon will quickly hurry over and sends a two-hopper to Dawson. Dawson dodges one check, kicks it over Angus. So with under 4.5 to go, now's the time. Simonelli lets it go. Nagy. And again, when you're as stingy as Lucas Nagy, no easy task making up that 4-goal deficit as Angus now. Screen and roll. Andy Campbell off the side of the net.
Great pass by Angus.
Looking to the trailer behind the cutter, and Angus gets a screen, and there's just too much on that screen. That was the second time Dawson did that. Got away with the first, not the second, and Van Scheppen goes tumbling down as he ran into
McDonald.
Like
it was McDonald, yeah.
That's a pretty heavy trunk of a leg there to run into. And behind in it now, Menzies. Kick it back out. Swing around. Menzies. 6 on the shot clock. Slide it over. Campbell. And he knows exactly what to do with it. That's dump it in the corner and get off as we're under 3.5 to go. The Brampton Express 3.5 minutes away from booking their ticket to tomorrow's final, where the Toronto Monarchs wait. Pavic with a heck of a screen. Looking for that pass. Angus chops down a tree and Shanahan's arm in the process. Estrat now with Board. 2-on-1. Board. Kick it to the trailer. Horsley's bounce had too much on it. And that'll go into the screen. Possession the other way, under 3 minutes to go in this game.
Paris is going to pull their goalie here to get her started. They need a goal on this 6-on-5. They've got to score.
Van Scheppen now. Extra attacker is Angus. Lemaire on the right side, and
too many men. They got 7.
And I mean, even I got it out on my counter as they all stood out there and struck a pose. And
what a shame! Truthfully, what a shame to see that. Obviously, they had 7 easily on the floor, and Paris was setting up their behind the net play, and unfortunately, they had too many men, and that might just be the dagger.
I agree. Certainly makes the task harder. Not sure why Lemaire is going in there as well.
Unsportsmanlike.
Had too much to say, obviously, and if the too many men on the floor call wasn't the dagger, you had to figure that the extra chatter could definitely be that. And
let's see what Brampton does here. Do they go quick to try to score another? They obviously should try to score, but do they go quick or do they kill the clock a little bit and then try to score?
Well, 2:40, and do you really need a goal now, up 4? I think time on the side now of the Express, and you're right, they went to the attack. Jeffroy tried to go 5-hole, and now Paris behind the 8 ball, got to work hard. Board, great job defensively as they pin Brown just over the timeline. Jeffroy in there, Estrat and Board battling with Brown. The numbers have favored the Express all game. And Beam, of course, boy, not a whole lot on that stat sheet, but Jonah Beam has fundamentally been a mainstay for this Express here in this game.
Yeah, he's had an outstanding game. You know, the question now here as we wind this down, and I mean, I'm not saying the game's over, but it's going to be a tough comeback for Paris, is how is Zach Sutherland? You know, is it real bad and he's out tomorrow, or is it something that, you know, he hasn't looked at and he can get back in and play tomorrow night?
We'll keep our viewers updated on that. Van Scheppen's just going to weave through, get a shot off. Wide of the mark with a minute and a half to go, 48 seconds left in both penalties. And I think that's pretty irrelevant now. We are under a minute and a half. So the Brampton Express poised right now to join the Toronto Monarchs in tomorrow's All-Championship East Final. At, of course, 7 o'clock, quick stick, as that will stay in play. No reset, though, and expect Campbell to float that in the corner like you're supposed to with just over a minute to go.
Yeah, Campbell, you know, he gets the game. He's been around a long time, shows the class there. They don't need a goal. They don't need to take a late shot and, you know, and start something. Put it in the corner, run the clock, go out, and play on.
And going for a run, McDonald, and a save by Cosgrove. And you knew Agus was going to follow that all the way through. Got the slash and got the interference, and you're calling it. That looks like penalty shot.
No, Mac Abbott's already called it. Penalty shot. Let's see if they let McDonald take it or if they put one of their offensive guys on, because you can have a different player take it. I get it, right? Zach McDonald, you get a breakaway. You don't score very many goals. You want to try to score, right? Other people would say pull it out. You know, it's 43 seconds left to go in the game, right? Because now Paris is a little bit upset and stuff. And we've had a great game. We've had nothing until the last 2 minutes. So they are going to let McDonald take it. Good on the Brampton coaches. Let's see if he's got a better shot on this one, because he missed on the last breakaway.
So it'll be McDonald and Cosgrove. And Cosgrove made it look easy. Shot on net. But the difference between a defensive player and a goal scorer, that was pretty clear there. But I'm sure McDonald not too upset based on the score here with 42.9 seconds left on the clock, left in the Paris season.
Yeah, and you know what? I think we've seen the second half, well, throughout the whole game. Playoff lacrosse, right? Hats off to Paris and Jamie Dubrick and Mark DeBrone. Heck of a game. They just, you know, their offense went stagnant in the second half. Haven't scored a goal. 14-12? No, maybe that was started the third or started the fourth. But again, in the end, you got to score, right? And they didn't get goals when they needed to. But hats off to them. But kudos to Brampton on just a well-played game.
Well, the two top teams coming into this Final Four certainly have shown why they have been the top two teams in the Arena Lacrosse League throughout the regular season, finishing 1-2, and they will meet in tomorrow's final. So the top seed, the number 2 seed, and we know, Paul, not a whole lot of difference between the top 4 teams in the league.
Well, they both finished at 11-3. Toronto got first place because they won both meetings over Brampton. The first game was 2 goals. The second game, I believe Toronto won by 7, I think it was. Or maybe it was a little bit closer than that. But it was a bit of a blowout, and Brampton scored some late goals to make it tight. I think we'll see a great game. I think it's going to come down to the health of Zach Sutherland, because he's such a huge piece. You know, one of the top 3 or 4 scorers in the league. Brampton's leading scorer and goal scorer, right? So if they can get him back, they got a chance regardless, but if they can get him back, it's going to be a big help.
So let's look ahead as we await Matt Carrick and our player of the game. And I say to you, Paul, and what are your overall thoughts? And if you could group them in both these 2 games here today, because they were both 2 good competitive games.
You knew this game was going to be tight all the way through, you know, and it was. I mean, it was 14-12 entering the fourth quarter, and there wasn't a goal scored until just after the 7-minute mark, right? And full marks to both teams on a well-played game. Brampton wins, moves on. The Toronto Six Nations game, you knew that could be a tight game. Dusty Hill stood on his head. He had a good game, didn't have a great game like he had last week. Toronto got on a run, got up enough like they did against Peterborough last week. They did it again to Toronto, or to Six Nations, and they were able to win. So tomorrow it's going to come down to runs. If Toronto gets off to a great start and Brampton's got a battle from behind, I think they're in a little bit more trouble. If Brampton can hang in, Brampton's got a good shot to win.
So for sure, let's send it now down to Matt Carrick. He's on the carpet with netminder Lucas Nagy.
Thanks a lot, Lance. Lucas, I know the first didn't start the way that you probably wanted to, but buckled down in the fourth quarter. What changed for you?
Honestly, nothing much. The team just kind of riled all together. I mean, yeah, we came out slow. I wasn't doing my best. Wasn't seeing the outside shots a lot. They got a few posts, but I mean, everything just went down to the end of the clock. The team really just came together as one, and we got the dub.
This really was a game of momentum. How do you hold your cool in net when you're seeing, a bunch of them go in on one side, and then you're watching your team rebound the other side?
Well, I mean, I'm used to it. I've been playing this game for years. I've been in net for thousands of minutes. So I mean, you just kind of you get kind of used to that kind of thing. Once you start playing a lot. But I mean, it's just something that you always got to keep in mind, and but just got to keep your cool, and you ended up doing well.
Talk me through the next 22 hours or so. You guys are back. You're playing for the championship tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's Toronto. What do you know about them? What are you looking forward to for tomorrow's matchup?
Well, I know they got a very explosive offense, so our D's going to have to be extremely well. But then also I know we can, like I said, we scored one goal in the first quarter and then ended up getting 8 in the second. So, I mean, I know we can put the ball in the back of the net. So, I mean, it's going to be a battle of two great offenses. And, I mean, I know we're going to come out with the edge here. So, I think we're going to do well.
All right, good luck with that. We've been watching you for a long time and been impressed to see your rise all the way Junior C. I know we watched your Meredith Cup win and come all this way. Good luck tomorrow, man.
Thank you very much, man. Have a good one.
You're very welcome. You too. That's Lucas Nagy getting prepped for the championship game tomorrow. Toronto and Brampton. Lance Wynn will take you home.
Thanks very much, Matt. And as you saw it, the stage now set for tomorrow's Arena Lacrosse League championship game. 7 p.m. right here. It will be the Brampton Express, the number 2 ranked team, taking on the top ranked team in the Toronto Monarchs. That's going to do it for us. Final 4. We're down to 1 game tomorrow. On behalf of JVI Productions, Paul St. John, the Arena Lacrosse League, and remember, every child matters. We will see you tomorrow.